welcome back to ASMG TV here on YouTube. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined with me is the owner of Fountain City in Gage Joiner. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I know it's not the result you guys had wanted, but I want to talk about this progress that we've seen from Fountain City this year. You guys were in a lower division, coming now into the Premier Division. What has that jump been like for you guys?
It's been tougher than we expected, I think, a little bit. Being one of the only teams to make it into the playoffs from Division One. Sorry, I'm so cold. I'm still trying to. But yeah, it's tough, man. All these teams, former pros, active pros. We just got to come harder next year. So take some time in the off season to recoup and maybe try to recruit and come back harder.
It's something to be proud of, though. Being here, it's only your first season, then being able to make it into the playoffs as the 8th seed.
Right.
How proud are you of this team?
Yeah, I told the guys, that I'm proud of them for being able to make playoffs this season. It's like I said, it's a challenge. We got promoted. We did super well in Division One, of course. Had Golden Boot, moved up, and now we're playing the guys that have the Golden Boot and that are the regular season champs. So it's like a full circle thing. So hopefully we can do better next season.
How does a match like this help you guys moving forward, and what you guys can do better and what you can do to grow heading into next season?
I think it just caps off it shows that there's levels, of course. A lot of the teams we played, there was some close games. I think we fell off a little bit toward the end of the season, of course. But it just shows that where we need to grow and kind of the top where we need to be at. So.
Awesome, Gage. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back here on ASMG TV here on YouTube. Joining me after this, it's going to be Anthony Sumo and Yosef Samuel. They'll be joining us here to chat a little bit about this match and what's to come. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to ASMG TV here on YouTube. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined with me is Yosef Samuel and Anthony Sumo, the Golden Boot winner for Kalonji Pro-Profile. Guys, a dominating performance for you guys tonight. How does a win like this help you guys moving into the next round of the playoffs?
I think it just helps us with our confidence, I think we did some things really great and other things not so well. We know that the team, and we just want to build on the good things we did and pick some of the, the bad habits we have, obviously, and then move on to the next game and just, do even better. Yeah.
We did pretty good, and I want to say thanks to God again, because He is the only reason we made it this far, and we just gonna keep working hard for each other. And we started off slow, but we got the hang to it, and we started moving on. We started playing. I mean, we did some things right, and we did some things wrong. That's football. We're gonna go and practice and learn and move forward. So. Yeah.
One thing that stuck out to me, I think, watching you guys in Wednesday's match, but then also seeing it again today, is just how connected you guys are. Talking to you guys again, talking to Kareem, talking to Bruno, just how much it feels like a family, not only on the field, but off of it. How has it been to form that relationship with a lot of new players coming in, like Kareem, like Tumasi coming back in after playing professionally?
Yeah, I mean, the reason we have success, I think, is because we are a community, first of all. We all understand what we need to do, and we've been a part of this community for a long time. So it just comes very naturally, whoever is in the game. It can be anybody from U16 to all, the pro profiles. They understand what it means, they understand how to play, and all of that. So it always feels like, it's just, we're always connected,
Yeah, going off of what Yosef was saying, we're a family and we work together for each other. Apart from being on the field, outside of the field, we look out for each other and family first. And I think it just shows on the field what we do for each other, work hard for each other, and play as a team. That's one of the biggest part of it, is like being family and working hard for each other. So, yeah.
Next week, you guys are going up against the 7th seed in FC Birmingham. They took down number 2 Dalton United yesterday. The underdog coming in, stepping in, already having one upset. What is the feeling going into that game, knowing that they're the opponent, and how do you guys keep everything focused heading into that game?
It's soccer, right? At the end of the day, it's soccer. you have to expect the unexpected. You know, we always approach every game as not like as a top team. We have to earn that title. Every game we have to earn that title. And the coach says that from the warm up, from showing up on time and things like that, we have to earn it every game, every practice. So there's no complacency within us, right? We would never be successful if that was the case. Especially players coming in and out, you know, with us changing lineups all the time and things like that. We're not complacent, so we always, you know, thinking we got to play hard, we got to play the right way. It's the same approach every time, so nothing would change.
Yeah, I mean, we don't underestimate any team. We go into every game going to do our best and work hard for each other. And at the same time, we don't worry about who we're going against. We worry about our game and focus on like what we're gonna do to be able to overcome any situation that come ahead of us. So that's like the biggest part. We focus on our game and do what we do best: play football and have fun and enjoy ourselves. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys again for joining us. We'll see you guys here next week as you guys get ready for FC Birmingham in the semifinal match for the Georgia Premier Division playoffs. Up next, Jason Longshore is going to come back with me. We're going to wrap up everything that happened here today and get you ready for next week's matches. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to ASMG TV here on YouTube. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined back with me is Jason Longshore. We're going to wrap up everything that happened here today and get you ready for the semifinal match where Kalonji Pro-Profile will go up against the 7th seed, the underdog, in FC Birmingham. It's going to be a fun matchup, I think, especially from what we've seen from Kalonji this season. Going up against an underdog who's able to take down number 2 Dalton, as we saw last night, it's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, I think Birmingham can do some things that can cause Kalonji Pro-Profile some issues. This is a team that counters really well. Kalonji Pro-Profile is really good in transition, though, and that's what the game's going to come down to for me is how those transition moments go. Can Birmingham take advantage of their moments when they get forward and at least put a threat on the board? That was something Fountain City struggled to do today. And then KSA, can they get back and defend those moments? The flip side is, can KSA be as devastating in transition as they were today? How many times did they win the ball back, immediately get forward, and immediately get an opportunity on goal? These games are momentum swings, and we talked about this a lot last night. Momentum will have waves and it will have crests. You have to take advantage when you have the momentum. And when you look back at the goals tonight for KSA, they took advantage of those momentum movements that they had. They'd win the ball, immediately get to goal. Every time they peaked in momentum, they got something out of it. Birmingham won't have as many of those opportunities as KSA. They have to take advantage. They have to be clinical like they were last night in Dalton. If they're not, and KSA is, then you're looking at potentially a scoreline like this one. With that much firepower, if KSA takes advantage of all that momentum and scores goals, I don't think Birmingham can get into a shootout with them. So the defense has to be strong. They have to defend really well in their transition moments from attacking to defending. But most importantly, Birmingham has to threaten KSA when they get forward. That was what Fountain City could not do, and KSA was able to just ride that out, handle it, win the ball back, and immediately create opportunities the other way.
I think it's going to be interesting. We saw it last night with Dalton and FC Birmingham. Dalton was putting so much pressure on FC Birmingham whenever they had the ball, just like KSA did today for Fountain City. FC Birmingham has seen that. They know how to handle that pressure. They might be able to come into this game with a bit of an advantage, having faced a team that does that similarly, able to come back in and try to know what the balance is, what they can do coming forward, how they can stop that pressure, and they can build a little bit better than Fountain City did tonight.
Yeah, I think one of the big differences, too, when you look at Fountain City and you look at FC Birmingham and how they're structured and how that affects a match against KSA, I think Birmingham is stronger through the spine of the team. I think with Josh Martinez in the back, they're much stronger in the middle. Now, KSA can beat them out wide, and that's something that this KSA team can thrive on with Sumo, with Camden out wide, with the fullbacks getting forward. But through the middle, that was where I thought KSA really exploited Fountain City. I don't think they'll be able to do that against FC Birmingham. I think it's going to be from outside in. Birmingham's going to have to deal with that, and we know that there was a possible injury coming out of that game. We'll see if Birmingham is at full strength coming into that semifinal and just how they handle the travel aspects of it. If KSA scores first, I think KSA ends up handling it, maybe by multiple goals. If Birmingham scores first, I think we could have a wild night on our hands. We'll see next Sunday night.
Next Sunday night, you guys can watch the match here on ASMG TV. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be the #1 seed versus the #7 seed. Underdog more David Goliath moment. It'll be an interesting match here, and you can watch it all here on ASMG. Thank you guys so much for listening here today as Kalonji Profile comes away with the win to move on to the semifinals. We'll be right back next week with more UPSL soccer action.